I've heard it's increased a little bit. It's no longer like 2%, it's like at 17. But
which it should be.
It should be. Here's the deal, though. Even if they don't get the circle, having the plane start over military is a distinct advantage for Vitality because they get out early, they loot fast, and they can start their rotation before the northern teams are ready to defend against them.
More than a minute advantage to loot is insane.
Yep.
Usually you go out 2.5, 3.5 minutes as well, starting to rotations there.
Vitality 90 points behind OGN. Liquid 203. Those are your top 3 teams. OGN currently in the lead. Toby1 and Cameron Davis will take us to our penultimate game here at the StarLadder I-League Season 2.
Such a beautiful word. Penultimate.
Penultimate, yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice.
I wonder how many people understand what that word actually even means. I don't. Hi, I'm Toby1. I'm your simplistic caster. I'm joined by at least my more complicated pair, Cameron.
Marginally.
Marginally?
Only by...
Are you more edumacated?
Yes. Let's just go with that.
That's the okay. Yeah, yes is a great word. that's everyone understands that one. We are getting underway. Round 19, our second last one for the day. As the panel was saying, it is the grab for points, the top 3, Vitality, Liquid, as well as Enters. That was in no specific order. And of course, the ones nipping at the heels, FaZe, who need to have an unbelievable round. They've got 2 second positions and 7 kills each time, and it's still only netted them just over 200 points each time, and they're a gap of about 500. So they need to have an insane round.
2 rounds, actually.
2 rounds.
Like, both final 2 rounds need to be great, and Entis also need to give up a lot in order for it to happen. But we have seen it happen before. FaZe, we know, can completely go off. So the sky's the limit.
Yep. And Liquid's been performing really well. Vitality, Entis, they've just been great performers this entire weekend round. So they obviously deserve those top 2 positions they're currently in at the moment. But let's throw down the last 2 rounds. Everyone is feeling very comfortable. It was a straight smack down the middle plane.
Yeah, I just wanted to let everyone know while we're going over and seeing all these players loot up. Oh, actually, let me pause that because...
Ghost opening up with Balak moving in for the kill under siege, and it is all coming down to this. I don't know why I wanted to do that. I just wanted to do that. Oh, Balak.
Punch him.
Just
punch him. There we go. Vests are very important.
Oh, let's see that again. So, instant replay action, beautiful from the StarSeries I-League. Okay, I don't know why I do want to do that either, but okay. I've gone into a weird ass mood, so let's just roll with it.
So the only thing I can imagine how Balak even ended up there was that he dropped for a vehicle with the rest of his teammates, but wasn't able to find one, got forced into a building, and then Siege from MVP just wasn't aware that he was there, which can happen. We've seen it happen multiple times before. I don't know if that was an actual executive decision by Balak to go a little more aggressive onto MVP to try and get them some more points, give them a leg up, though that may have also been a reason why.
It's just, it could just also be a spaced out loot area. You're pretty condensed over with FaZe to your East over at Mill to Power. MVP has been doing this horizontal drop, so they kind of just take everything from Crapsville all the way over to the farm.
Otherwise, though, that single instance excluded, I just want to let you guys know that if you're someone who gets very nervous when things are different, like last round, everything else, we're back to the same drop points. Everything is back to normal.
If you don't understand your world right now, everyone's back where they should be.
Except Balak.
Apart from Balak. Maluk. Opened up. Hope for a... Actually, with the optics, he only clipped Stab in the back. So Stab should be fine. Then he's making a run for the mountain with this circle. The mountain will be the best point of elevation, obviously, because it's a mountain. And Nerf, I love you. I love your points. This is like Tony Hawk, but with bikes. Who is that? Travis Pastrana.
Sure.
Travis Pastrana is in here right now. We're going Nitro Circus.
He actually forced up on top of the George Pole Mountain because of Tempo Storm's position. This is another circle on the western side. We saw Tempo Storm actually get punished for that because they stayed too loose. And the 2 players, I believe that's Zampa and Maluk, grouping up together to defend that spot early on. It was definitely a play to adapt and try and keep what happened last game from happening again.
It's like WTSG as well. They've already claimed their own little compound. They've got both at the moment. The hospital, Galaxy may have a couple of... opponents. Vanguard have arrived. They are looking to collect some tags. Couple of shots coming from above. They may not think the Galaxy is in here. So Avangard parking the car below, but right now, this is a home invasion. And Gaxi needs to repel them. Keen looks around the corner, looks fast enough, and he looks to put him all the way down. Gaxi, he's dropped him down low, got a lot of bullets in after he was already knocked. But up onto the roof, Diaz could not save his friend. Keen is gone. And Gaxi hiding. He'll have help at least when he's on the roof. He at least will have the eyes from the hospital looking down.
Yeah, from Larson. I believe Larson has, I'm assuming he's got a scope and got somebody to be overwatching him on that. And this still puts a lot of pressure on Diaz because Gaxi on that roof spot has so many different ways to jump down, to come from a separate angle. Now Diaz is in a really rough spot, has threats coming potentially from all around him. He can't just even hold a single corner.
Yep. Gaxi may have to be a little bit more careful. He's only got 39 bullets in his ump. So that should be enough if he goes into a battle with Diaz, but not an extended one.
Rest of Avangard, do they want to come and try and assist this? Because so far...
Tempo Storm came on, get those wheels on the ground, and he's actually flipped it over. They would love to blow it up as Ampas lost his angle. He's got to be careful too. Moody starting to shift over from the yellows to give some extra cover fire.
It's also the shots from those two other C9 players on top of the mountain to assist there as well to push
Diaz
Sampo
versus
away.
Gaxi. You know, let's just put this in the bottom corner. Let's just shove it into the bottom corner, and we'll come back to this. We'll keep it on the sideline, reporter. As a Vanguard.
The rest are pulling up.
They're arriving. Gaxi using his bullets. What's he got? He knocked out and knocked him, and knocked it goes flying. He wants to put him down. Able to do so. So Gaxi actually had the second weapon. Diaz want to push in, and he's able to come in close. And that's going to be Diaz claiming the roof. But the casualties are high. A Vanguard go down to 2 players only. This is not their dream.
It's not, but...
James? This mountain is occupied. The hills are alive. With the sound of liquid. Cloud9, however, want to try and siege it. James. The long-range battle. Sampy and James have to work together for this one. They don't have the extra numbers just yet. It's just the 2 of them on the hillside. But Scoom's on the way. Stab will toss the grenade out, but Sampy is far enough off to the side. He will not get hit by it. It sounds like they are just going to leave this Ghost. Their own rotation. McCoy looks like a tire popped out. He just slides the car around. Push down on R2 and just drift Mario Kart.
Ooh, yeah, MVP. They just... I don't know if this was specifically to camp Ghost's rotation, but they do run back in, try to get some revenge. Unfortunately for them, weren't able to do so. McCoy, I believe he had to drop his vehicle, but at least that action has died down for now, and MVP looks like they're back in a wave. Vitality also on their own rotation. Once again, able to avoid the camp from OGN, but X-Chris may be here, sending some shots of his own.
Yeah, just a couple, and that's actually going to work. Rafi knocking out Monkey. Not just knocking, killing. That's roadkill. Rafi will be happy. Yannick can do very little about it apart from potentially pull up and shoot back down again. And we go back to the mountain that Liquid want to own. They cover fire, kicking in from Ibiza and Scoom, allowing James to begin his pressure. The grenade ensures the Cloud9 have actually pushed down and onto the bikes and drive away. Nitro Circus lives for another season, but no! Oh, the bullets to the side. He's flipping the bike around. He's managed to recover, even if he's lost all momentum. The bikes are good to get back into it and roll away.
Problem is, we got to go through a couple other teams, get back to their other 2 teammates. Liquid successfully taking that mountain, just the 4v2. Obviously too much for C9, but I think Avangard actually have an angle onto them, taking some shots onto the retreating Cloud9 players. Nothing lethal for now.
They're heading over towards the hill, but Tempo Storm are over waiting for them. Cloud9 stab enough. Right now they just want to catch a break. Hey, we found a compound that's not currently occupied. They can get into it and get into relative safety. Oh look, Enters holding up a compound and having a battle with someone from long range. So Cloud9 versus Enters near Gatka. It is a rinse and repeat for them.
I think Stab is actually going to stay at that compound to the north of this trio of Cloud9, and we've seen 3-1 splits actually do quite a good bit of work. Avangard actually had a quite successful one last game. It all depends on whether a team is going to want to bomb the solo player or not.
4 AM is coming in forever. Oh, that's a tree. Can't drive into that one. Not like a little shrubbery, which you just seem to be able to run over with your vehicle. 4 a.m. we're going directly into the to the crossfire that was going to be Enters, so God VM Forever realized that is not going to happen and go back over towards CPT. They cannot get their 2-2 split properly going out. Optic have claimed the northern road, so as M19 will come over, eventually Optic should be able to have a bit of a gunfire at them. But it looks like M19, they're happy to sit around. Georgia Paul not only does it have 2 loot crates, it's got a lot of loot left in it. No one wanting to wait in that northern side of the circle, as everyone is really congesting the south side. So we can see this battle between C9 as well as OGN at the moment, but like FaZe, they're running straight past Pachinki. I say battle, standoff.
Yeah.
As I see you, like, just wait. Is that really a battle if no one fires a bullet?
I had to do the air quotes. I apologize.
No, it's cool. So Knights are coming in too. They're probably going to run into MVP on the eastern side as Method hold the western road. So everyone's getting in. There goes Method on that coastal run. A lot of compounds to play from. A lot to bounce over to when you get the vehicle transportation. But Knights and MVP, they're probably going to be standing on each other's toes in just a couple of seconds. But Knights, they're running the blue. Pang, that's a bit of a long-range fire to try and take, and they don't want to hang around for this much longer, that circle. We are headed to the north.
So watching that spray down from MVP onto Knights, and I think Pang almost got ran over, but Vox, yeah, he's almost getting taken out. I think he may have just lost a tire.
Now it's Texas. Man on the run, Pang. One more bullet left in the chamber.
MVP can't stick around too long on this, though, because they do have to move into the circle themselves. It centers up basically around the northwest Gatka Fields, the Georgia Pole Mountain. And this does give Liquid oversight over a lot, so they're going to know what's happening for almost the entirety of this next circle.
They want to open up on FaZe. FaZe, they knew they didn't get to the compound in time. They had the one watcher of Fuzz FaZe that was seeing 4 a.m. pull up to the compound and give some cover fire to get back out. Larson, noticing that Welcome to South George currently has new tenants as they backed out of it, but Vard, he's got a great angle. Floating over on the side compound means Batulans cannot get through. I don't know why I started on that. It just happened.
It's actually that rush, this unsuccessful run down from across the river, why very few other teams, no other team other than M19 wanted to go north of the river, because they didn't have a lot of information, had to actually drive through South Georgia Pole, and that is always very risky for them to run directly into other teams holding the line. And WTSG, actually, a wide spread on them, but they seem to be doing a lot of work even after losing Gaxi, still 3 alive, and they're able to get a pretty big chunk of the pie right now.
Yeah, they got some good compound cover. Even though Mercury was out by himself, is having that hospital, you can see people coming from a long way away. And it's a very hard place to siege. You go over the mountains, you're going to get shot from multiple angles, and that's the real issue. The fact that WTSG are actually protected by all the other squads that are there. That circle will start to shrink.
Silver Copper teams rotating in. Ghost, MVP, and the Knights still need to make their way inside. FaZe only just now made their way through. Tempo Storm still holding off this compound. They're in a 2-2 split of their own. Same split that they've had for a while, and it's in a good spot of its own as well. It's kind of on the opposite side of WTSG with a wide field in between. Depending on where the next circle goes, if we're going to go field, mountain, or city, which are basically the only 3 options that we have.
Yeah, no matter what happens too, Liquid can keep part of that mountain in, so they hold the eastern front as well as the western side of the mountain, and they get so much information. I think that's probably even the bigger thing for Team Liquid while they're up here. When they come down, they know where everybody is because they've been spending the last 5 minutes watching them.
Flip side is their actual rotation down the mountain is wide out in the open, and so they could potentially get sprayed down, and then it's also not the easiest place to defend. So if it ends up being in like the center on continuously for the next few circles, they're going to have to make a decision on what part of the mountain they want to pull away and just control. But right now, they do have the ability to take the full thing and utilize it that entire rock face.
If that circle goes on top of the mountain, they'll be laughing all the way to the bank. Even though they will be contested for it, but that's why you see them in a 2-2 split. Knights are making their way up to M19. They're just trying to hold South George. It's Optic who hold a little bit further to the east. Here's Vitality's position. They always love having 4 players up at the very end, and so far they're in a good position to do so. AKA they have 4. Welcome to Logic. Hi, welcome to the Obvious Hour. I'm your host, Mr. Obvious. Let's go straight to PUBG.
Not a lot of action happening anywhere else in the circle. It's pretty standard cut and dry.
Yes, it's the setup time for now. Ghost are adding a little bit of pressure towards the East, so MVP very close to them. Ghost are keeping tabs on Young Tan.
Yeah, this fight just won't stop breaking out. Balak knows they're there.
They can't really get like a proper kill out. That's their problem.
Yeah.
Like MVP, these scouts have been doing serious work for all of the squads. So they're always knowing when they're going into a fight. They pull back out. They find a compound. And so far we haven't had those big quick runs because no team is forced into it yet. The circle is still pretty damn wide. So no one's forced to try and contest the compounds at the moment. This will come a little bit later. But this is what you see like also teams banking on their odds. They've got multiple compounds. Entis are actually holding 3 separate compounds by themselves. So they're feeling very happy with this part of the circle. Genji is split across the swamp area, so they hold both the hillside plus the lower ground. Tempo Storm, they're ascended as they possibly can be in the circle. Oh boy, we are shifting very hard north. And this is going to really condense, but Vitality, see that run? They're going right over the top of Knights on the Western Road. Knights got into the car, and the Kramer's already come back out. Finally, Alpaca will be knocked out by Balak. So Ghost gets some level of action over on the east side. And they just want to bail out. They're going to move quick and they're going to move fast, but that's why FaZe are coming too. They're going to drive directly through MVP and right over the top of McCoy. And in fact, almost saying that MVP get knocked out by McCoy. And killed off.
Rotations happening on the east side as well. You see OGN rotating through, trying to get through a field past Genji. Oh, Vitality, they're getting wrecked as well.
And Optic are getting involved in it too. Vitality losing players. Looks like Entis will be able to make the two building compound very much in the open on the eastern part of the circle, but a nice position.
They beat FaZe to it as well. That may have been one of the locations that FaZe tried to go to, but now they're going to have to find...
They're going crates.
Solace in the crates, exactly. Liquid, though, still on this, still on the top of the mountain.
Yep.
Only half of it's in, but that only means that they're going to have to defend the second half. That is, if they don't get pushed by Ghost or any other teams on the eastern side, which is why most of their attention is in that direction for now. Well, once it closes, though, that means they can just flip 180 and then watch to the dead center of the circle. WGSG, though, they're
in a good spot.
Yeah, they're in a great spot. They're condensing together, trying to get all onto the hospital, or at least closer to it. But the hospital is such a key part in this circle. It's almost dead center. So much sightlines around it.
You actually wonder if you want to go up there, because there are a lot of ways to actually approach the hospital. And without the cover fire from the side, movement are knocked on down. Tempo Storm open up as they try and take the compound, which has been heavily contested. Avantgarde thought they owned this. Diaz is over in a ditch, not wanting Tempo Storm to find him, so just hide and pray. It's like Jempty was knocked out as Entis from those buildings, able to battle FaZe over in the warehouses, but Ghost are coming in as well. Texas, oh, doesn't find a kill onto an enemy. It's a knock onto a friendly. Kramer will have to be picked up, but Ghost have now entered as well. Knights have the west. Everyone seems to at least have their spots for now, but yeah, you're right. Genji are on top of the hospital, but that won't stop Larson from taking the kill. So hard to approach.
Genji really like to send Wicked out as, hey, so we're in the circle, but let's see if we can't send you somewhere center. And every single time it's a compound that's already taken because it's such a strong compound. But at least he gives the information away.
Oh, Kramer. Run over, then knocked out, and it's just going from bad to worse. Good stuff. Oh! Knocked out by Yak and finished off as well by him.
Tried to group up with the FuzzFace. They didn't feel comfortable just holding those warehouses on the northeast side.
They probably felt pressured as well. They needed to move over. Ghost have already moved in and adding firepower on top of them.
Yeah, that's the key thing. It's really difficult to control the containers area. FuzzFace is going to be able to give them some support from that angle, but it's going to be all up to Mixie and Jempty to hold it down. Ghost, though, the question is, how hard are they going to push right now? Because they're able to get all 4 inside. They may want to wait for the circle to fully close before they make their full next decision.
It's like Knights and Method. They managed to feel each other out a little bit. They won't battle into it just heavily just yet. As looks like Scoom, Liquid having that long-range battle. They're doing it with Cloud9, even though they're being pressured from the side. Both MVP and Genji there. Finally, Diaz is caught out. So Vanguard out in 16th position after that very big hiccup they had earlier on, thanks to the WTSG player. And again, we center into the southwest, actually. We take away the center part of that phrase. And it's a quick movement. Genji are already leaving. Liquid will have to come off the hill.
This gives them time to get the revives, though. Cloud9 already dealt a fair bit of damage, and the Genji rotation is going to distract Cloud9. So this is actually...
Look how fast Genji are coming. Larsen's going to have to hold this. Vard's moving up. Miracle is still a little bit further down. FaZe being pushed by Ghost. They all have to get out there, but it's Enters who drive directly into Cloud9. There will be a bit of a trade-off as Moody got knocked out. But who will really come out on top of all of this? It looks like it's Enters being knocked out and eliminated in 15th position. Vard is on the defense as Genji are taking over his area. Miracle has just arrived, rolled up. They got Loki on the crate, and Larsen over towards the window trying to get some information. Vard's grenade, it's a little bit too long. And both of them are actually a little bit too long. The car will blow up, and look into the corner. Vard will do it. Genji is out in WTSG. They are in the hospital.
They do. But south of them, 4AM able to take a compound that I was hoping WTSG might want to try and split with or even just fully move to, because this is the time that the hospital does start to get a little weak. Because with only 3 members, such a wide spot, you already mentioned how
here's that Cloud9 player that we didn't get to see up front before, but that's why we got the beautiful replays, production value available. Cloud9 and OGN just rolling over the top of each other.
Here comes Liquid's own rotation through. They tried to third-party a bunch of those fights earlier on, driving past MVP.
Sandy got knocked.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, Liquid still need a really good posting. This is what they wanted to have happen. Entus is out. They don't have that big contester in the upper positions.
Well, can they get in, though? That's the question.
No, that is a
lot of
problem.
shots. That's a smoking car, and the other two are sharing a vehicle, which is always a bit dangerous, which is why they're not trying to go center. They're trying to share this field.
That's the other team that needs to get knocked out as well. Shadow was right next to him, but Optic, they're the ones doing the knocking. Cloud9 eliminated in 13th position. Teams will be unaware that Shadow is next to him. 12 teams left up. Knights are on the run. 8C trying to heal up quickly. He's got no helmet available as the Knights grenading the tree. Luckily, these trees, they're built from very hard wood. Hard to actually get through. 8C wants to just smoke so we can move out and get away from the Knights. Difficult to do, or maybe just so we can toss a grenade straight down the hill, sure. Mixie gets knocked out by Turtle. In fact, Bahawaka will ensure the kill. Same with Jempty, so it looks like FaZe having a very rough time trying to get out of the crates. That's why they ended up going down. Vehicle and smoldering with the hopes of FaZe. They needed 2 huge rounds, and this is not their round at all. They can still try and claim for top 3 at least.
Knights aren't having a good job either. They're only down to 2, and they're surrounded by Meth. In fact, Moment pops out. Gives a couple of shots.
Car stop moving. Oh, 8C lines up onto Texas. Looking for that follow-up. Voxic, the car, is actually dragging him back down the hill. Hold on for the ride. The car actually kicks him up a little bit, so Moleman, because the meds weren't up, had little to no life left on Voxic, so Moleman gets the kill. Turtle, don't hit him! He hit him.
A little
but
bit.
luckily, Turtle has
fine.
like 3 HP, so that's fine. Yeah, fine is the word we'll use.
Liquid push forward. Still in the field, still out in the open, have a little bit of cover, but Tempo Storm still able to take a lot of shots down onto them. Circle is closing, though, in 10 seconds.
That it will. Still can't believe that Shadow's managed to stay alive. He's on the far edge of the circle. Fuzzface getting some level of revenge as Turtle will end up going down all the way. Actually, he's also found Allergen. Is he actually doing this solid? There's 3 players from Ghost around Fuzzface on the northern end of the circle. Balak and McCoy are the last ones up for Ghost. Well, Allergen is bleeding out. In fact, looks like Fuzzface just ensures the kill with a grenade. That's 14 points that FaZe didn't have before, so let's see it again. Fuzzface getting him in the open, around the rotation, the blue pressuring as well, and then doubling up into Allergen. Really had no idea where the shots were coming from.
Well, I think now they have a little bit of an idea, but they still have to leave the city, and so Fuzzface, if he keeps them there...
Miracle, don't go for that drive.
Make it a really bad time.
Like, I'm seeing him preparing the car to drive directly into the 4 guns at 4 a.m.
There's nowhere else to go in this situation. Yeah. Liquid have the only, like, real soft cover. There's a couple of ridge lines around them. There are a couple of shacks.
The ridge line on the left, I think, is the only thing they can... Actually, no, it's not even... It's too exposed. It's down a hill.
These bombs up from the north are going to be real brutal, real lethal, and that is, they have to go through Optic and WTSG, but then those 2 teams have to also push down to 4 AM and Tempo Storm.
Fuzzface go on the bike, balls to the walls, boys. Fuzzface over the hill, and now Bahawaka, he's got a chance for the shot, dropping him down low. Fuzzface still holding the momentum, keep on driving, Evil Knievel, the shot at the back, he's gonna flip it, no, he's still up, still fighting, but there's enemies on all sides. Fuzzface taken out, Tempo Storm, from a long way away. Then the North is encroaching hard. Ghost are out in 10th position, FaZe are out as well. M19 are now doing their own run, but into the arms of Method, and this is just full bikes. M19, it's a double kill onto themselves. Knocked out, everyone's looking for the points. Method will claim one, Tempo Storm will claim the other. I remember about 15 minutes ago saying Tempo Storm can't find a home. They've now found the greatest home.
Oh, yeah, for 4AM and Tempo especially, it's looking great, but WTSG and Optic can still push in. Optic, they are able to find a valley. WTSG distracted onto the western side because of, example, the last player of M19. Miraku should be hearing some footsteps soon.
Yeah, that last player. Talking about that last player. Problems.
Oh, no, shots from Optic.
Yeah, they're battling from the ridge line on the eastern side of the hospital. That's actually making Miraku fall back, so Example can just push over the hillside. And now it's up to Larson, hitting into Bahawaka. Knocked down one. Finally, WTSG. Something is going their way. A quick first aid up. M19 finally eliminated out. Example was managed to be clipped off by Vard. But Larson, he wants to keep fighting, but they're not inside the circle. Grenades, they're popping off. No real toss. WTSG, they're getting into the cars, moving up the hill, using them for that portable cover that they really need as Larson. This is a balls run in the open field out. Where's the extra help? It's there in the form of Miraku. Optic just get knocked out by the circle. Screw Miraku. The circle is the winner. PvE against Optic. E wins.
Just barely WTSG able to make it out, but the shift is going to go away from them once again. A split between 4AM and Method.
There's that long shot into Example. Well, actually, not so long. Vard just does it.
It's going to be difficult for WTSG to push over. They may want to just use their vehicles trying to bomb directly into 4AM. There aren't really many other options. Liquid, though, they're able to slide through. These two players are still outside the circle, but you can see on the minimap, James pushed west into the field to try and help bound them in, shepherd them in. Scoom, though, watching over MVP. They know there's a couple members left there.
Well, it's just the one. It's the alpaca.
They're an anti-shepherd, that.
He's going to shed his fleece just so they don't see him. Smokes, grenades. What is this? It's the 4th of July coming down to 4 AM. It's like, what is that? I don't smoke. I don't vape. I tried to quit it. But 4 AM still with the lines. WTSG, as you said, going for the run in. Long's managed to clip out Vard as well as the windowsill. But WTSG do get over towards the side. There's side shots coming in before AM. They're pushing him. They're pushing him hard. Forever just comes in through the side. Already finds one. Needs the other, however. And they've got it. Larson knocked down. WTSG in a world of hurt. They didn't get them all.
No, there's one left. Miraku just lying prone out on the side. 4 AM. They're sweeping around. Oh, the nade just barely misses. Oh, but the third party does come through. Fine. I was wondering when an angle was going to be found by another team, and it is going to be Method, who are also spreading into the dead center.
Skoom is not giving up on this kill. No. He knows Alpaca is there. There is no backstabbing out here at all. Alpaca's just trying to first aid it through. That Liquid, they have the southern part of the circle. Tempo Storm had to come out of their own compound. They got some level of deflate to work with. Here's Alpaca with a run. Skoom will put him down, as now Tempo Storm, that open area, works against them. 4 AM holding the compound, is able to have good eyes.
Method pushing forward. You can see that they have a little bit of a valley, a couple of defilades, but it's not great. In the meantime, though, Dre does find an angle onto Liquid because it does get dropped down. Have to stick a little harder to those rocks, to those hay bales.
I don't know how Tempo Storm are really meant to try and take this fight when they can have both 4 AM, not just 4 AM looking down towards them, and the potential look from Method too. Everyone is just having a crack over a Tempo Storm. They had a good compound, but now that's no longer allowed. They got evicted.
Circle's closing. It's all going to be on 4 AM right now when they had to leave their compound because it's going to be a rough run. Tempo and Method are going to have a great angle on them if they do have to leave. And the shift goes immediately on top of Method. They have X-Chris on the side to continue to give that Overwatch protection. But 4 AM, do they bomb in? Do they want to use smokes to push through?
I don't know if it's really worth a bomb in. It's not like Method have a great position. They're not in defilade.
It's at least something.
It's an open field that 4 AM will have to cross. So yeah, maybe they do just do it.
They got to hit the shots first, though. They're going to be waiting for Method to overpeak, but it's Tempo Storm that are going to define the tempo on this.
Actually have a really nice, like, it's a tiny little defilade that you see, like Moleman and Rafi in right now. This is the best part of the zone. The only issue they'll have is if Tempo Storm can just push directly towards them, but because 4AM are holding their position, Tempo Storm cannot get this kind of direct line. And then you've still got the Pest of Liquid on the south side. Watching out, 4 teams on almost 4 different parts, north, south, east, west of this circle.
It's all about who blinks first.
Who blinks, who wants to go in.
Yeah.
You've got 12 seconds to decide, and then this circle is coming if you're ready or not.
Smoke's coming out from 4AM, though.
Yep.
Still left up to see if they're going to use vehicles or not and just try and run it.
Oh, Liquid, no helmets to work with at all. All 3 players are an instant headshot if they can claim it. So they're going to smoke up themselves. They start their own push. There's no hay bale sitting inside that circle, and Tempo Storm to the cars. Maluk on the run. 4AM doing the same thing forever. He's got an extra person in that car. Oh, not anymore. Maluk gets knocked out. Forever was able to get in pretty quickly, but Ibiza, he waited as long as he possibly could, but it's 4AM who capitalized, getting the extra knock and ripping apart Tempo Storm. Method looking to poke their own heads up. Moleman needs a good grenade, decides against it, just sprays out the AK instead. But 4AM are getting within grenade range of Method, and they have to be careful. Same with Liquid. They've come in through the south end. Jeems looking for a good line. Skoom looking for the same thing, but Rafi finds a better one. Knocking back onto Skoom. He is under the protection of the rock. And that is inside the circle. A critical position for Liquid to hold. They've got 2 solid rocks. It's the real only cover inside this circle that can be played with. And Method are already trying to flank it. Get rid of the cover.
I'm liking this by 4AM. They didn't want to bomb directly onto Method. They just used their vehicles as portable cover to get inside. But Ibiza goes for the peek on Method, takes a lot of damage. As you said, Method are aware of the threat of Liquid.
He's so close on the side. He's looking for the easy push, and he's got it. Ibiza is knocked out. Skoom and Jeems, this cover will not remain for much longer. Moleman's giving some extra, well, distraction on the front lines, but as long as this flank continues, Liquid, they have to do something about it. Tempo Storm have just taken to the turf. Ibiza is knocked out, but now 4AM as well cannot reach Method's position.
Like, they already used all their smokes to get into their current position. To use smokes to get even further, if they, like, I doubt they even have any to do that. And so Method, with the single valley, can just duck and weave and take shots at everyone. They could snake and crawl through, but this has even less cover than a wheat field. Really
nice for Skoom, able to get the kill onto Long. Claim whatever he possibly can. The rest of Method still want to try and push him, but they're behind the rock. But that circle again, Method a smack bang in the middle of it forever. He gets inside the car, just trying to shift his cover. Get a little bit closer. The grenades. Now we can finally reach right on top of Moleman with that grenade. Run away as quick as you can. But the trench is in range. Don't know how many more grenades Forever has available, but Method, they've got multiple players. 4 in total to fight this out. But it's a 3-2-2-4 fight with Method having the extra numbers.
Popping out those tires to make sure that Method can't see through the bottom. Catch him in the feet. That does limit the...
nice shots. CPT goes down so quickly. He's already been walking wounded underneath the car. Goodbye Forever. The MK14. It's lethal. It's kneecapping Forever. And then, well, your boy Dre getting involved. He's pushed up and actually got finally an angle into the defilade that Method has been utilizing for so long. They're meting up as quick as they possibly can, but the grenades fly in. Tempo Storm, they will be eliminated. Method copping a lot of damage. Knocked a little bit, but what can Liquid and as 4AM do about it? God V looks like he's the last one left up for 4AM. Liquid, they've got 2. But Method, 3 and the defilade cover.
And the center.
And the center of the circle.
Dead center on a Method. That's why the smokes came out, because they know that the pressure is on the other teams to push towards them. They want to limit the points of access. In fact, Rafi is swinging around the side to set up a crossfire from Liquid.
Rafi's already looking. He's looking for Liquid. He's hunting Skoom. Skoom right now is busy medding up. He'll need to look towards his east. That's where Rafi's looking for the angle. He's able to find it. Skoom fires back quickly. Doesn't have a lot of life to work with. Rafi flying the bullets all over the top of Skoom's head. Suppressing fire doesn't give you an advantage in this game. Apart from Skoom's just staying on the ground. Rafi, there we go. Pop up. Gets the bullet into the body. So now 4AM. What are you going to do, God V? How long can you just remain out here and not do a thing? He's waiting for Jeems to die so they can get the better position.
They got to find the picks.
And there it is. Skoom's down. So we're down 4 AM. 3 teams are still up. So, Jeems, He's being hunted, and GodV's just letting it happen. Method. Then it's allowed to go 3v1 thanks to GodV.
Liquid and Royam just wanted to go for those shots, but Method kept everyone alive outside of the one down, and there we go. James does get discovered. Royam are able to secure the second. GodV, first shot, tries to get the spray down, gets the first knock, but the immediate trade back secures Method the win with
17 kills. This is the type of run that needed to come from FaZe to keep him in that top contention for the top 1 position, but Method stepping it up, smiles galore on him at the end, and no surprise, they're in 10th position going into that round. But now they'll bump up quite a fair way. They'll put him into the top, well, more than the top 10. They'll actually be probably around the top 6. Terrific performance